5 serial killers whose ghosts linger after death. When it comes to the supernatural realm, logic and theory go right out the window. Many believe in ghosts, and millions of people will attest that they have had a frightening encounter. Seeing is believing, and the paranormal world is one that is hard to understand. Are ghosts nothing more than restless spirits that are looking for vengeance from beyond the grave? Are ghosts quantum echoes of violent information from the past? According to ghostiaries.com, ghosts are sentient relics so powerful that even death cannot hold them down. Take, for instance, famous serial killers throughout history. To this day, their presence haunts and torments anyone who approaches them or the area they are drawn to. Ronald DeFeo Jr. The famous Amityville horror movie is the site of one of the most critically acclaimed haunting accounts in history. It was a chilly night on November 13, 1974, when 6 people were found shot to death. It was discovered that Ronald DeFeo Jr. committed the crimes. It was his own family he shot to death in cold blood. Official testimony from the trial stated that the voices in his head told him to kill his parents and siblings. The house attracted media attention due to the amount of paranormal activity that ensued. Some claim it was a hoax, but the Lutz family claims otherwise. They moved into the home after the murders and left for fear for their lives. Is the evil that encapsulated Ronald DeFeo still alive in that home? Or is there some other ghost-like entity that motivated him? This is one supernatural case that may never be solved, but anyone who would kill their own family is likely dabbling in forces darker than we can comprehend. Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy is one of the most notorious serial killers in history. He confessed to killing at least 30 women across 6 different states. His final days were spent at the Florida State Prison. He was killed by the electric chair in January 1989. In 2001, a guard was on duty and was at the location of the infamous electric chair. He claimed to have seen Bundy sitting there, smiling. After this incident, more guards came forward and said that they saw the same thing. When they tried to approach Bundy's ghost, it vanished. Some say that the strong emotions that were experienced by him in that very room have led his spirit to haunt this location. He was cremated, and his ashes were spread in Washington state, per his request. However, to this day, many inmates and workers at the correctional facility still see Bundy throughout the prison. Jack the Ripper. In Whitehall, England, Jack the Ripper killed 5 prostitutes in 1888. He was never caught, and to this day, no one truly knows who he was. He sent notes to the newspaper to alert them each time he killed. Some theorize that he was actually a woman, but whatever evil prompted these murders apparently lives on today. 29 Hanbury Street in Whitehall is one of the most haunted places, according to its owners and visitors. Not only is Jack the Ripper supposed to be seen here, but also Annie Chapman, one of his victims. Though she is with a man when seen, folks assume this apparition is the departed killer. Since his identity was never truly known, it is hard to say who or what is haunting this area. The same apparition has been seen at the 10 Bells pub too, another location of a killing. These places where negative energy occurred seem to have been charged with paranormal activity. Will the case ever be solved, or is the ghost still trying to communicate from beyond the grave? Jeffrey Dahmer. He was known as the Milwaukee Cannibal. While being a serial killer has a certain amount of evil attached to it, eating your victims takes it to a whole new level. Between the years 1978 and 1991, he killed 17 men. Not only did he rape, torture, and kill these men, but he also dismembered their bodies. Dahmer was beaten to death inside a Wisconsin prison. As a serial killer, he was unique in the fact that most do not eat their victims. Dahmer was originally from Bath, Ohio. His childhood home is said to be the scene of major activity. He also committed his first murder here, too. It seems that this restless spirit longs to find the comforts of his early childhood and the place he called home. Paranormal enthusiasts can rent the home for $10,000 a month. The home has been a tough sell since the massive murders tainted the atmosphere. Trying to build on the ghostly influence, the current owners rent it out to those who want to collect EVP and other data. John Wayne Gacy. Everything changed back between 1972 and 1978 in Cook County, Illinois. It will never be the same. John Wayne Gacy was a troubled man who had a horrific childhood. He went on to sexually abuse and kill 33 young men. Known as the Clown Killer, Gacy was put to rest on May 10, 1994, by lethal injection. Most of the bodies were found buried under his home in the crawlspace. There were 8 bodies that were never found. The address of the home is 8213 West Summerdale Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. The current owners say that the home has changed hands numerous times. They often hear screams in the middle of the night and see bloody apparitions appearing. Through EVP and other sessions, they believe they have made contact with what may be the famous killer himself. An exorcism was performed at the house and the grave of the killer. Nothing seems to be working. Both places still report great amounts of paranormal activity. What is calling from beyond the grave? There have been so many stories of killers coming back and haunting us from beyond the grave. Take, for instance, Lizzie Borden. Though not a serial killer by definition, she was accused of killing her father and stepmother. The home where the murders took place is now a bed and breakfast. Guests can sleep in the room where the stepmother was found dead. What most of these people have in common is a troubled childhood that evolved into twisted adulthood. Even in death, these tortured souls can find no peace. The residual energy left behind from these horrific events taints these areas and homes for all time. Real haunted houses do exist. The question is whether this paranormal information is sentient or not.